Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Word Bible Study, a plain and simple, book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse study of the entire Bible. Currently, we are in Psalms chapter 34, and we're going to jump right in it. Remember, these are songs of praise, and in these songs of praise, they are Hebrew songs. And so, in these songs, then, is wisdom, prophecy, um, as well as the psalmist point out sometimes there's joy and anguish. Okay, maybe impatience. All right, let's get into it. There are 150 psalms, and again, these are not chapters. I have to force myself not to refer to them as chapters, and you hear me doing that. But this is a collection of 150 psalms. Not all of these psalms are David's writings. I believe some of them may be even ascribed to Moses or a psalmist during Moses' time. But anyway, not all of them are, again, during David's time. Some might even be ascribed to um, um, post Babylonian exile. All right, let's get to it. Psalm 34. He says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make its boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Again, another example, right? Codifying the epitome of what praise is, and notice it's always directed to God. Verse 4, I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried out, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps round about those who fear him, and delivers them. Now, kind of interesting when he says the angels of the Lord encamps around about those who fear him and delivers them. Again, I think one of the ways we should take these kinds of statements are, in a sense, general, because and then not only in a general way, but how do you then define it? And I'm not trying to split hairs either. And the reason why I say that is because many righteous people died at the hand of their enemies. Remember, Paul himself tortured people and was the cause of their death. Stephen being one of them. So, and again, but then at other times, yes, you are delivered. Angels deliver you. I want to say this too. Keep this in mind. We don't see angels. Despite I know that there are some people who claim to see angels. We don't see angels. Okay. All right, let's look at verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. Now, it's kind of interesting. Let me say this. The word good, what does it mean? And if you go back to Genesis, chapters 1 and 2, we can see what good is. And of course, God exceeds that. He said, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. Now, again, what does that mean? You cannot limit this to earthly rain, right? Because there are people who suffer horribly. But then in the end, / eternity, yes, blessed is the man who trusts in him. Verse 9, O fear the Lord, you his saints. There is no want to those who fear him. The young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Again, generic. I say this because there are teachers and preachers and who unfortunately make their ministries grow off verses like this by making them promises. Question is, what happens when these things don't come to pass? Okay, and again, you can also look at how do you define this? Does it mean you're going to be wealthy? And then, of course, what about those who are suffering? Again, we take these verses in a general sense. Yes, they apply when they apply, but it's not necessarily in a sense from an earthly standpoint. My point is, you can't say, I'm going to claim this as a promise, because this is some of the modern prosperity teachers and faith teachers. This is what they do, and they twist scriptures that way. Verse 11, come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Now again, we'll elaborate more when we get to the book of Psalms. Many of these same kinds of words of wisdom appear in Psalms. Proverbs. And really, again, it's what Proverbs is about. And again, so we'll elaborate more deeply when we get there. Verse 15, the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them, and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and save such as have a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and those that hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servant, and none of those who trust in him shall be condemned. Psalm 35. Plead my cause, O Lord, with those who strive with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take hold of a shield and buckler, and stand up for my help. Stand up for my help. Also draw out the spear, and stop those who pursue me. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. Let those be put to shame and brought to dishonor who seek after my life. Let those be turned back and brought to confusion who plot my hurt. Let them be like chaff before the wind, and let the angels of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angels of the Lord pursue them. For without cause they have hidden their net for me in a pit, which they have dug without a cause for my life. Now, kind of interesting, you see a lot of mentions of angels here. The psalmist is talking about how the angels protect us, how the angels are there. Now, we cannot explain this because the angels exist in the spiritual realm while we exist, and our focus, our vision, our reality is physical. And unless God opens our eyes, we cannot see angels. The revelation of Scripture tells us that they're all around us, that they're here. So it is interesting. He's talking a lot about them. Verse 7: For without cause they have hidden a net for me in the pit, which they have dug without a cause. Let destructions come upon them unexpectedly, and let his net that he has hidden catch himself into the very destruction. Let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like you, delivering the poor from him who is too strong for him. Yes, the poor and the needy from him who plunders him. Fierce witness rise up. They ask me things that I do not know. They reward me evil for good, to the sorrow of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled myself with fasting, and my prayer would return to my own heart. I paced about as though he were my friend or brother. I bowed down heavenly as one who mourns for his brother, for his mother. But in my adversity they rejoice and gather together. Attackers gather against me, and I did not know it. They tore at me and did not cease, with ungodly mockers at feasts. They gnash at me with their teeth. Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue me from their destructions, my precious life from the lions. I will give you thanks in the great assembly. I will praise you among many people. Let them not rejoice over me who are wrongfully my enemies, nor let them wink with the eye who hates me without a cause. For they do not speak peace, but they devise deceitful matters against the quiet ones in the lands. They also open their mouths wide against me and say, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. This you have seen, O Lord. Do not keep silent. O Lord, do not be far from me. Stir up yourself and awake to my vindication, to my cause. My God and my Lord, vindicate me. O my Lord, O Lord, my God, according to your righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, so we could have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to mutual confusion who rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor who exalt themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad who favor my righteous cause. And let them say continually, let the Lord be magnified, who hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue will speak of your righteousness and of your praise all the day long. All right, let's go to Psalm 36. Psalm 36. An oracle within my heart concerning the transgression of the wicked. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now, if you notice this phrase, you go to Romans 3, and you will see that Paul strings Romans 3, verses, I believe, 9 through 18. He strings a few of these verses here, okay? So there is no fear before his eyes. No, there is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself with his own eyes. When he finds out his iniquity, and when he hates, the words of his mouth are wickedness and deceits. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. He divides his wickedness on his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He does not abhor evil. Your mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Your righteousness is like great mountains. Your judgments are great and deep. O Lord, you preserve man and beast. How precious is your loving kindness, O God. Therefore your children, Therefore the children of man put their trust under the shadow of your wings. They are abundantly satisfied with the fullness of your house, and you give them drink from the river. You give them drink from the river of your pleasures. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. O continue your loving kindness to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked drive me away. Therefore the workers of iniquities have fallen. They have been cast down and are not able to rise up. Okay, Psalm 37. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the workers of iniquities, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Now, kind of interesting here that one of the things you will see, let's see how far we go here. Oops. All right. The one thing I want to point out with this, notice he says, don't fret because of the evildoers. A lot of times, it's easy, especially if we're going through, that we will see, it looks like people are doing, it looks like the wicked is getting away with their wickedness. And so he said, don't fret because of evildoers. Don't be envious of the workers of iniquity. There's a couple of things to look at. One, it may seem like they're getting away with their wickedness in this lifetime. Keep this in mind, you don't always see what's going on. And then, of course, remember, the equalizer is death. And eternity, of course, determines a lot. I say that because think about this. If you got wealth, think about all of the injustice with people with wealth. How they do. They will stand before God. And while, we could say, man, oh boy, if I had, I think about the richest man. If I said, just break me off $1 billion, and and it wouldn't dent his lifestyle or anything else. But anyway, he said, don't be envious of them. Verse 3, trust in the Lord and do good. And that's right here, I think it's the statement. Regardless, you trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Now, again, let me say this, the desires of your heart in context with God's will. Verse 5, commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he will bring it to pass. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. Now, certainly I think some of us could relate to this. If you ever been defrauded, especially. If you ever watched people. I've seen people tell on people because they just could not see people getting away with stuff. In fact, as simple as this, I've seen people, you ever see a person, like if you're on a backed up road, highway, and you see someone cheating and they're driving along the shoulder. I've seen people kind of pull their car over just to stop them because they couldn't stand that. I'm going to say, don't waste your time on it. Don't waste your time. Verse 8, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret. It only causes harm. That's why, don't concentrate on people because they are, it seems, prospering in their wickedness. Just leave it in God's hands. Verse 9, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. But yet in a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. Indeed, you will look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and it shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plots against the just and gnashes at him with his teeth. The Lord laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming, and the wicked have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay those who are upright in conduct. The sword shall enter their heart, and the bowels shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. Now, I know that seems hard, right? It really seems hard, but I will trust the Lord. Verse 17, for the arm of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the day of the upright, and the inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the day of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord like splendor of the meadow shall vanish into smoke and vanish away. The wicked borrow and does not repay, but the righteous shows mercy and gives. For those blessed by him shall inherit the earth, but those cursed by him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hands. I have been young, and I'm old. I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging bread. He is ever merciful and lends, and his descendants, are blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth justice, and does not forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the descendants of the wicked shall be cut off, and the righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell in it forever. The mouth of the righteous speak wisdom, and his tongue talks of judgment. The law of the Lord, the law of his God is in his heart, and none of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous, and seeks to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hands, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord, and keep his way, and he shall exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a native green tree. Yet he passed away, and behold, he is no more. Indeed, I saw him, and he could not be found. Mark the blameless man, and observe the upright, for the future of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous man is from the Lord, and he is in their strength in the time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him. Okay. I think a lot of this sometimes become a matter of perspective. Okay, a matter of perspective. Think about it this way: everyone that David was talking about in his time, right, including David, of course, has since died. So you can say, well, where is David? And then where are all of those people that he has spoken of during that time? All right, guys, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to VP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comments section below. All comments are welcome. I'll see you in the next study.